All right, the next exercise we're going to go over is called the plank. Again, the plank is another commonly prescribed exercise, but again, sticking with the theme that we've talked about in the past couple exercises, is one of the most misunderstood and one of the most common exercises that I feel is done incorrectly, because when done correctly, this is one of the most effective and most potent exercises that you can do for your core and for your spine, and one that's also very safe and also very effective. All right, so Tweez right now is starting in this hands and knees position, and what I'm going to have her do is start to just extend both of her legs almost like she's going into a push-up position. And keep note, she's doing a really good job of this, and this is what I really want you to pay attention to, is how flat and how level she's keeping her shoulders, her back, and her hips. One of the most common mistakes that I see people make is that they're not intentfully engaging their muscles, what happens is the back starts to sag and the back starts to sink, like so. So we'll start to see one of these kind of like angle phenomena. Go ahead and go into that position really quick, just go down a little bit further. And this is really bad for anybody that has any sort of back pain, because all that pressure, all that tension is building up in the lower back. Go ahead and go back into the right position, okay? So again, trying to keep your hips up as high as you can, level with the shoulders and level with the spine. That's the position that we want to maintain. And now, to really get the most out of the exercise, go ahead and squeeze your glute muscles as tight as you can. Now grip your fingertips as tight as you can into the floor, and just do like a mini crunch. Just try to tense your muscles in the front of your abs here, and you should feel everything shake, yeah?
Yes.
So hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Oof. So probably had her hold it up there longer than we would expect you to, all right? And because we're only really looking for about a 10-second hold with this. I know a lot of times people recommend that you should hold a plank for up to a minute, or hold it up for even 2 minutes. But the most common thing that I see when people try to do that is they start to lose their form, the back starts to sag, their shoulders start to get stressed, and they're not even attempting to consciously engage the muscles of their hips or the muscles of their core. But by focusing on trying to maintain a level trunk, by squeezing the muscles of your glute, by gripping your fingertips into the mat, and trying your best to intentionally contract the muscles in your stomach, you'll create this very strange but very powerful sensation of just your whole body almost to the point where it's shaking and quivering. That's a good sign that you are engaging your muscles to their absolute maximum, which is going to increase the potential for you to actually build strength. You'll realize that your body will start to fatigue in just not being able to hold that position before it starts to feel sore or achy. I always recommend to my clients, and I tell them, if they're doing the exercise and they start to shake, they start to quiver, but they're not hurting and they're not feeling sore or achy, that means they're doing the exercise correctly. Okay? So another way of doing this exercise, because a lot of times people might have issues with their wrists or have issues with their shoulders, is to do this exercise on her forearms. So go ahead and go into your forearms. You can clasp your hands and fingers together, go and straighten out your legs. And then same thing here. She's doing a great job of maintaining a level base from her shoulders to her back to her hips. Don't let your back sag. Let your back sag a little bit. Don't let that happen. That's going to kill your back and you're not going to get anything out of the exercise. Keep your hips up. Squeeze your glutes as tight as you can. Crush your fingers and hands together and pull your elbows down towards your knees and really try to increase the amount of contraction you get into the front here. Just shaking and quivering. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Good. So again, we're only looking for a high quality, high tension, lots of muscle contraction, back completely straight, back completely flat for about 10 seconds. If you're able to hold a 10-second plank and you're able to do so with integrity, then from there you start to increase the amount of time you spend doing so. But until you're able to find that right position, until you're able to hold that position with integrity, and until you're able to create that kind of shakiness in the muscles, I wouldn't advise doing any more than 10 seconds. All right, so that's it for the plank exercise. Actually, one more thing. If you find it's too difficult to be able to do this on the ground, where even the modification to going to your elbows and your forearms is a little bit too difficult, one of the easy things for you to do is just do the same exercise off of a kitchen counter or off even a small chair, right? So that way, by just increasing the angle, that will make it a little bit easier, but don't resort to doing them on your knees. Just if you have a difficult time doing them on the floor, just increase the angle. Just do it with straight arms off of a chair or off a table and just follow the same cues. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your abs, grip your hands into the surface your hands are on, and try to keep your back as level and as straight as possible in line with your hips. All right, so that's it for the plank exercise.